Hi, I'm Megan.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Shreya.
And today we're going to be teaching you how to judge limited prep and broadcasting.
Take 3.
Okay. Yeah. Extemporaneous speaking is an event that is split up into 2 separate events, both United States extemp and international extemp. Now, before the competition begins, students are to go to a designated prep room, where the first speaker will pick 3 topics and choose 1. This will continue until each speaker has a topic. Now, it's important to note that topics are phrased as a question, and once a speaker has chosen a topic, the 30 minutes starts for them to prep and practice a speech. During the 30 minutes of prep time, students are allowed to use their offline resources. However, some restrictions do apply. First, students are not allowed to go online and look up information as they go. Second, a student shouldn't be writing their speech down on their device. And third, students should not use their computer or device in order to present their speech for a judge. After the 30 minutes has elapsed, students are released to go to their speaking room. Once there, they will give a speech with a maximum time limit of 7 minutes with a 30-second grace period. And according to the IHSFA manual, there is no minimum time limit, but brevity should be penalized if it shows a lack of information on the subject. And also that while there's no penalty for going over the maximum time limit, if a student does so, they should not be ranked first. One thing to keep in mind while judging is that a student is responsible for making sure that the judge understands the information as well as the topic. If you as a judge cannot understand what they're talking about, the student shouldn't be ranked very highly. Some other things to base your judging off of include how well they answered the question or prompt, how many sources they used, how effective those sources were, if they spoke for a reasonable amount of time, if they were fluent, if their speed was consistent, and if they had good tone and good use of words. Finally, students should use a variety of sources during their speech. This can include anything from reputable news sources to quotes, statistics, and general ideas.
I interrupted you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I was just gonna say that. Sorry. Impromptu is a limited prep event where a speaker has 7 minutes to both prepare and give a speech. The speaker may have a prompt that is either a word, question, quote, current event, or object. According to the IHSFA Tournament Manual, the speaker may use as much time in preparation as he or she desires. There is no minimum time limit. Brevity should only be penalized if it discloses a lack of knowledge of the subject or a lack of a complete speech. Overtime will be a detriment. When a speaker gets into the room, they may ask for time signals. In this case, a good time signal idea would be 3 minutes remaining, 2 minutes remaining, 1 minute remaining, and 30 seconds remaining. They may ask for this exact time signal system, so make sure you have it in your head. According to the NSDA Unified Manual, contestants may take notes during the preparation time, but the use of notes, cards, briefs, or other aids is prohibited during the speech. When judging an impromptu speech, here are a good list of things to keep in mind. Did the student speak based off of the prompt? Was the speech organized? Was the speech coherent? Was the speech new or innovative? Was the speech over 7 minutes? Did the speaker speak for a shorter or longer time than another speaker? That's a good way for figuring out placing relative to other speakers. Did the speaker prep for too long? And also anything else you think you should point out. None of these criteria will necessarily make or break a speaker, but they're good things to consider for placement.
There are a couple of things to keep in mind when judging extemp or impromptu events. For one, they are both limited prep time events, and so there are going to be some delays in delivery, particularly in impromptu. Most often successful impromptu speeches, the speaker will find a way to relate the topic to something personal so that they can then sort of storytell their way through their time period.
Broadcasting consists of 3 different rounds. The first round is the news program. The script generally has an introduction, news stories, a commercial break, weather forecast, sports entertainment, and a conclusion or sign-off. The speech should be roughly 5 minutes long and prepared in advance. The second round is the editorial. The tournament host will publish the topic and students should prepare this beforehand. The editorials will be opinionated, so you shouldn't judge based on whether you agree with the student or not. The speech should be roughly 2 minutes long. The last round is on the spot. During this round, students are given a photo to present. They have 2 minutes to organize their thoughts and 2 minutes to perform. This section is modeled after real-life reporters and should be judged as if they're professionals. Judges should look for enunciation and volume and smoothness and flow to the presentation. Judge the quality of information as well as the speaking style.
So limited prep is very crucial, meeting the time requirements, that sort of thing. Creativity, really looking at what the competitors are bringing to the table, making sure that everything you hear is different from the rest, making sure that vocal inflection, those sorts of things are on point.